Let's be brutally honest for a moment. The system that keeps our grocery shelves stocked is efficient, but it's also incredibly fragile. Most stores only have a few days' worth of food. All it takes is a trucker strike, a fuel crisis, or a big storm to snap that chain. When the trucks stop, the shelves go empty. And in that scenario, the most valuable thing you can own isn't your stock portfolio or crypto. The new gold will be the ability to grow your own food. For years, smart preppers have known this. True wealth in a crisis is self-reliance. It's the peace of mind that comes from knowing you can feed your family, no matter what. And the foundation of that is a well-planned survival garden. But here's the thing. Not all garden plants are created equal. We're not talking about delicate lettuces that die in the summer heat. We're talking about the workhorses, the calorie-dense, nutrient-rich crops that store for months and form the backbone of your family's survival. These are the items that will not only feed you, but will become incredibly valuable for barter. In this video, we're breaking down the ultimate survival garden asset list. I'm going to give you the 12 specific seeds and supplies you need to be buying right now. For each one, we'll cover why it's a powerhouse, how easy it is to grow, and most importantly, how to save its seeds for a truly perpetual harvest. Your backyard is about to become your own personal Fort Knox. Number 12, radishes. All right, let's dive right into number 12, an overlooked vegetable that's almost criminally underrated, the humble radish. You might be thinking, radishes? Really? But here's the secret. Their value isn't in calories, it's in their speed. In a crisis where you need food fast, the radish is king. The problem the radish solves is the immediate need for fresh food. While your big calorie crops are still months from harvest, you need vitamins to stay healthy. Most radish varieties go from seed to plate in as little as 25 days. That's fresh food in under a month. But don't discount their nutrition. The entire plant is edible. The roots are great, but the real secret weapon that most people throw away is the leaves. You can cook them just like spinach, and they're packed with vitamins and minerals. In a survival situation, you can't afford to waste anything. Here's the best part. Radishes are ridiculously easy to grow. You can tuck them into small spaces or grow them in containers. They love cool weather, so you can get a crop in the early spring and another in the fall, maximizing your garden's output. And for long-term survival, saving radish seeds is incredibly straightforward. Just let a few plants keep growing past their prime. They'll shoot up a flower stalk and create seed pods. Once those pods are dry, a single plant can give you hundreds of seeds. That small bag of seeds becomes a self-replicating source of fast food. In a world where food is scarce, that speed is pure gold. Number 11, spinach. Coming in at number 11 is spinach. Just like radishes, it's not a calorie king, but its value is in its insane nutrient density and its tolerance to cold. When other gardens are dead, a garden with spinach is still producing. Here's the problem spinach solves. It provides nutrition in the shoulder seasons, early spring and late fall. A diet of just dried beans and rice can lead to serious health problems, and spinach is a powerhouse of vitamins A, C, and K, plus iron and calcium. It's essential for keeping your immune system strong when you can't just go to a doctor. Spinach is also a fast grower. Here's a pro tip. Use the cut and come again method. Instead of pulling the whole plant, just pick the outer leaves. The plant will keep producing from the center, giving you a steady supply of greens for weeks. Its ability to grow in the cold is a massive strategic advantage. You can plant it way earlier than your summer veggies and then plant another crop in the fall. With a little protection, some varieties can even survive the winter for an extra early spring harvest. This extends your growing season, and every single food-producing day counts. Seed saving is also simple. Let a few plants bolt or go to flower. Spinach is wind-pollinated, so it's best to have a small block of them growing together. Once the seeds on the stalk are dry, you just strip them off. Stored properly, those seeds are your ticket to life-sustaining nutrients when nobody else has them. Number 10. Amaranth. At number 10, we have a plant I bet most of you have never grown, but it's one of the most resilient ancient food sources on the planet, amaranth. This isn't just a vegetable, it's a multi-purpose survival machine. Amaranth's value is its incredible versatility. It solves two problems at once. You get nutritious leafy greens and a storable, protein-rich grain. The young leaves are like supercharged spinach, and you can harvest them all season long. But the real gold is in the seeds. The plant produces huge flower heads packed with thousands of tiny seeds. It's a gluten-free grain that's loaded with protein, and it's a complete protein, which is critical when meat is hard to come by. You can cook it like porridge, grind it into flour, or even pop it like tiny popcorn. Here's the thing. Amaranth is ridiculously easy to grow. It laughs at drought, heat, and poor soil, exactly what you want in a survival crop because you can't count on perfect conditions. A few plants will give you a massive amount of both leaves and grain. Seed saving is almost a joke. A single flower head can have tens of thousands of seeds. You just cut the heads when they're dry and shake the seeds out. You'll have more than enough for food, replanting, and high-value barter. It's a low-effort, high-output survival crop that's a must-have for any serious seed bank. Number 9. Cabbage. Number 9 on our list is cabbage. There's a reason this has been a cornerstone of survival for centuries. The reason is simple and can be summed up in one word: fermentation. The problem cabbage solves better than almost anything is long-term food preservation without a fridge or canner. Cabbage is the key to making sauerkraut and kimchi. With just salt, you can turn a head of cabbage into a probiotic-rich food that can last for months, even over a year in a root cellar. And here's something important. The fermentation process actually makes the nutrients more available to your body and is great for gut health. In a high-stress situation, a healthy gut is critical for absorbing every nutrient you can get and keeping your immune system strong. Cabbage is also super efficient. A single head packs a lot of food into a small space. It's a cool weather crop, so you can grow it in spring and fall. You can also store whole heads in a root cellar for months, giving you another layer of food security. Now, saving cabbage seeds is more advanced. It's a 2-year process, which makes the seeds themselves more valuable. You have to store the plant and its root over the winter and replant it in the spring to get seeds. It takes planning, but anyone who masters this holds a truly valuable skill and a renewable source of this crucial crop. Number 8. Carrots. Moving on to number 8, we have the carrot. It seems common, but its value in a survival scenario is immense. Carrots are the quiet workhorses of the root cellar. The problem carrots solve is providing a durable, long-term source of vitamin A. Carrots are packed with beta-carotene, which is essential for your vision, especially night vision. Think about it. In a grid-down world, good eyesight isn't a luxury, it's a necessity. From a gardening perspective, carrots are fantastic. They take up very little space above ground, and here's a pro tip. You can leave them in the garden long after the first frost, using your soil as a natural refrigerator. Harvest them as you need them. For true long-term storage, carrots are champions. Pack them in boxes of damp sand or sawdust in a cool, dark place like a root cellar, and they can last for months. This lets you eat fresh, crunchy carrots in the middle of winter without using any fuel or canning supplies. Like cabbage, carrots are biennials, so saving seeds is a 2-year project. You have to store the best roots over winter and replant them in the spring. This takes foresight, making heirloom carrot seeds a valuable commodity. A prepper with a good stock of carrot seeds has secured a critical source of life-sustaining vitamin A for the long haul. Number 7. Garlic. At number 7, we have one of the most powerful plants in your survival arsenal, garlic. Its value goes way beyond making bland food taste good. Garlic is a medicinal powerhouse, a natural pest repellent, and one of the easiest crops to grow forever. In a crisis, garlic solves a ton of problems. First, flavor. A diet of beans and rice gets old fast. Garlic makes it bearable, but its real value is medicinal. For centuries, garlic has been used as a natural antibiotic and immune booster. In a world without pharmacies, the ability to use garlic to help fight off infections could be a literal lifesaver. Garlic is also a huge asset in the garden. Planting it among your other vegetables helps keep pests away naturally, which is crucial when you can't buy pesticides. Growing garlic is almost laughably easy. You plant the cloves in the fall, cover them with mulch, and basically forget about them until next summer. It's a plant and forget crop. But here's where it becomes worth more than gold: propagation. You don't save seeds. You just set aside some of your biggest bulbs from each harvest to be your seed for next year. Each clove you plant grows into a whole new bulb. It's a perfect, self-sustaining loop. As long as you save a few bulbs, you will never run out of garlic. Number 6. Peas. Climbing to number 6 on our list are peas. They're a multifaceted survival crop that offers high-value protein, soil improvement, and fantastic storage. The problem peas solve is twofold. They're a great source of plant-based protein, and they act as a natural fertilizer. Dried peas are a concentrated protein source that can be stored for years and added to winter soups and stews. The second function is just as important. Peas are nitrogen fixers. In a long-term scenario, you won't be able to buy fertilizer. By planting peas, you are literally growing your own. After the harvest, you work the plants back into the ground, which enriches the soil for whatever you plant there next. This is the cornerstone of a sustainable garden. Peas are a cool weather crop, perfect for early spring. They'll give you a big harvest before your main summer crops even get going. Think about pole peas over bush peas. They need a trellis, but you'll get a much bigger harvest from the same small patch of ground by growing vertically. Here's the best part. Seed saving is incredibly easy. Peas are self-pollinating, so they grow true to type. Just leave some pods on your healthiest plants to dry completely on the vine. When they rattle, they're ready. Shell them, let them dry, and store them. They are your food for the winter and your seed for the spring. Number 5. Winter squash. Breaking into our top 5 is the heavyweight champion of long-term storage. Winter squash. We're talking butternut, acorn, spaghetti, and Hubbard squash. When you're looking at one of these, you're looking at months of food that requires zero energy to preserve. The main problem winter squash solves is the need for calorie-dense food that stores for a long time with almost no work. In a world without freezers, being able to store a vegetable for 3, 6, or even 9 months in its natural state is pure gold. A single butternut squash is loaded with calories, carbs, and vitamins. This is the dense nutrition that will fuel hard work. Growing winter squash does take space, but you can use that to your advantage. Train the vines up a trellis, or let them sprawl on the ground to act as a living mulch that suppresses weeds and keeps the soil moist. This is part of the classic Three Sisters planting method. The magic is in the curing process. Here's the secret. After you harvest them, let them sit in a warm, sunny spot for a week or 2. This hardens the skin and makes them taste better and last way longer. Then just store them in a cool, dark, dry place. A spare closet works great. And here's a bonus. You can roast and eat the seeds. They're a fantastic source of protein and healthy fats. Saving seeds for planting is also easy. Just wash and dry the seeds from your best squash. A cellar full of cured winter squash is a beautiful sight. It's months of food security from a single harvest. Number 4. Sweet potatoes. At number 4, we have one of the most nutritionally complete foods you can possibly grow, the sweet potato. It's a calorie-dense powerhouse that gives you 2 different kinds of food from one plant. The sweet potato's primary value is its incredible mix of high calories and dense nutrition. It's loaded with carbs for energy and is one of the best natural sources of vitamin A on the planet. But here's the critical piece of information many gardeners don't know. You can eat the leaves. They're highly nutritious, a lot like spinach. You can harvest them throughout the growing season. This means a single plant gives you a calorie-rich root for winter storage and a continuous supply of fresh greens all summer. It's a 2-for-1 deal that's almost unmatched. Sweet potatoes are easy to grow, especially since they love heat. They grow from slips, which are just sprouts from a mature sweet potato. You can easily start your own in a jar of water. Storage and propagation are what seal the deal. You cure them like winter squash to make them last for months. And to replant, you just save a few of your best potatoes from the harvest. The next spring, you use those to start your new slips. It's a perfect, self-sustaining loop and an incredibly efficient survival crop. Number 3. Corn. Field dent corn. Our number 3 spot goes to a grain that has been the foundation of civilizations, corn. Now, this is crucial. We are not talking about the sweet corn you eat at a barbecue. For survival, the undisputed king is field corn, also known as dent corn. The problem field corn solves is massive, long-term calorie storage. Sweet corn has a short shelf life. Field corn is left on the stalk to dry completely. The hard kernels can be stored for years, even decades if you keep them dry. A cup of dried kernels is a huge shot of calories, which is essential for energy. The versatility of dried field corn is what makes it true survival gold. You can grind it into cornmeal to make cornbread, tortillas, or porridge like grits. Here's a pro tip nobody talks about. If you treat it with lime or wood ash in a process called nixtamalization, you unlock more nutrients, like niacin. This ancient trick is what allowed entire cultures to live on corn. Growing corn is part of the brilliant Three Sisters system. The corn stalk acts as a trellis for pole beans to climb. The beans fix nitrogen in the soil to feed the corn, and squash grows at the base to block weeds. It's a masterclass in gardening efficiency. Saving seed is as simple as it gets. Just pick your best ears from your healthiest plants and save them for next year. A big sack of dried field corn is more than just food. It's a multi-year supply of calories. It's the raw material for bread, trade, and true food security. Number 2. Beans. Dry beans. Coming in at number 2 is the absolute cornerstone of protein self-sufficiency, the dry bean. We're talking pinto, black, kidney, and navy beans. In a world where meat is a luxury, dried beans are the currency of protein. The problem dry beans solve is simple but critical, providing a shelf, stable, dense source of protein. Protein is vital for keeping your body running. When properly dried, beans can be stored in airtight containers for 30 years or more, making them the ultimate long-term survival food. Combine them with corn, and you have a complete protein with all the amino acids your body needs. Like peas, beans are legumes that make their own fertilizer by fixing nitrogen in the soil. They aren't just feeding you, they're feeding your garden for the next crop. In a grid-down world, this is a capability that cannot be overstated. For most survival gardens, pole beans are the way to go. They grow on a trellis and produce way more food in a small space than bush beans do. Saving bean seeds is incredibly easy. You just leave the pods on the plant until they are completely dry and brittle. Shell the beans, make sure they're bone dry, and store them away. A 5-gallon bucket of dried beans is a treasure chest. It's hundreds of protein-rich meals, a natural soil fertilizer, and the seed stock for countless future harvests. It is one of the most complete survival packages in the plant kingdom. Number 1. Potatoes. And here we are, at the number 1 spot, the single most valuable gardening item that will be worth more than gold. It's not exotic, it's not a secret, but its power is undeniable: the potato. The potato is number 1 because it is the undisputed king of calories, period. In a true survival situation, calories are energy, and energy is life. The number 1 problem you'll face is getting enough calories to fuel hard work, and no other common crop produces more calories per square foot than the potato. It's also a good source of vitamin C, B6, and potassium. Their ease of growing is a huge factor. They are forgiving and reliable, which is exactly what you need when failure is not an option. You can grow them anywhere in beds, in bags, even in a stack of old tires. Their storage potential is legendary. You don't need to do anything special. Just store them in a cool, dark place, and they will keep for months, providing a staple food source all winter long. But here's the final, clinching reason the potato is number 1. Your food source times your seed source. You don't need to save delicate seeds. The eyes on a potato are the sprouts for new plants. To plant your next crop, you just cut up your stored potatoes, making sure each piece has an eye, and plant them. This makes the potato a fantastically efficient and almost foolproof, self-perpetuating food source. This simple, powerful cycle makes it the ultimate survival crop. A cellar full of potatoes is the closest thing to a vault of gold you'll ever find. So there you have it, the 12 pillars of a survival garden. We've covered everything from the fast-growing radish to the long-term calorie kings like corn, beans, and the undisputed champion, the potato. Each of these items is a solution. A solution to hunger, to nutrient deficiency, and to the uncertainty of a fragile system. Owning these seeds and knowing how to grow them, store the harvest, and save their seeds is the ultimate form of preparedness. This isn't about being paranoid, it's about being practical. It's about empowerment and trading anxiety for peace of mind. Building this doesn't happen overnight. It starts today. It starts with 1 packet of seeds. It starts with 1 patch of lawn. It starts with learning these skills. Your journey to real security begins not in a bank, but in the soil of your own backyard. Start building your real wealth today. Thank you for investing your time in this. If you're ready to take the next step, I encourage you to subscribe and turn on notifications, because in our next video, we're going to dive deep into the number 1 spot on this list. I'll show you 5 different high-yield methods for growing potatoes, even in small spaces, to absolutely maximize your calorie production. You won't want to miss it. Stay prepared, stay safe, and start planting.